Hey there, this is Marissa with Marissa Moments Podcast, Healing While I Heal, where I share my real life stories and their healing translations. So let's just get straight into it. So I can recall so many times where I felt like I came up on the ish end of the stick, right? The short end of the stick, the poo end of the stick, however you want to look at it, however you want to phrase it, basically meaning the same thing, right? People would tell like stories about me and how I was just like this crazy person who was just like basically wilding out, right? And of course, this was like, I don't know, probably towards like my 20s. In my 20s, of course, we all have our teenage moments, but I didn't really have as many because I was just kind of like a scary teenager and I just knew which side my bread was buttered, but for the most part I was just scary. Like I didn't want to venture out. I feared the repercussions of my actions more than I craved the actual actions in itself, right? Hopefully you could follow that because I cannot repeat it. But the thing of it is, every time that something would play out, the story would hit the air, right? The proverbial TMZs of the world would report back on Marissa's moments. I guess I was famous even back then. Look at that. Who knew? I guess Spirit did. Anyway, I digress. Let's focus. Thing of it is, anytime I did anything, you could bet your bottom dollar that information was going to come out some way, somehow. And I would feel like so defensive and I would be like angry and feel the need to like defend myself because more often than not, the situations and the stories that were being told were not the whole story. Now, okay, I'm never going to be the one to play the victim in any scenario, right? So I wouldn't say I've never been the innocent party, but I've had my key role in every single event that has transpired, right? So I just always would say, if you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story, right? So let's just get it all the way out there, not just one-sided, not just, the I benditos of the world, the oh, poor you situations, right? So I would feel the need to like go tell it on the mountain. And I can remember a certain point, again, in my 20s, a major situation and scenario happened where it was like a switch was flipped in me. I no longer felt the need to defend myself. I was so exhausted. I was so tired. I just wanted to be done with it. I was so completely done. I was really broken too. Very, very broken and hurt. And I can recall all of these stories that would find their way back to me and how people would just come to me with like these wide eyes and wild stories and tales and telling me to my face who I was and how crazy I was. And my response would always feel like so just tired each and every time. Like, yeah, I mean, well, if that's what they said, then that's what happened, I guess, right? Because who cares? Now, I can say in hindsight that I was just basically spiraling down into a very deep, dark depression that would end up with me going to a facility to try to help myself mentally because I was broken down in such a way that I literally could not even get up off the couch. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be heard. I would try to drink and do everything possible in order to just dull myself and numb myself from the pain, right? And all the while, I'd hear stories about myself. Oh, you wild girl. Yep, that's me, the wild girl. Crazy. But, what's even crazier to me is the fact that sometimes the more things change, the more they stay the same. There are still different stories and tales being spun out there about me. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I'm some sort of famous person where everybody's talking about me and I'm the talk of the town, because that's just not the case. But there are still certain scenarios and stories floating. And when they meet me, they meet nothing. And it's not because I'm in that dark space anymore, because I've definitely come so far from that. Like, I wish I could show you in film how far I've actually come. And it's only upon these moments of reflection that I can feel pride in myself, because I dug myself out of that hole. And it was not easy by no way, shape, or form. But anyway, that's not the point of this. The thing of it is, the stories are still being told. The tales are still being formed. Yet, and still, I don't feel the need to defend. And what's the healing translation behind this? Because I could go on and on talking about how people talk about us and how we might want to defend and how we may not want to defend and what the reasoning behind our actions are, right? But the healing translation is, let's see how far we've come. Now, originally, I didn't feel the need to defend myself because I was spiraling down in a very dark way. And I could feel it. I was very aware of it, but I just didn't care. And now this time, I don't feel the need to defend myself because I know and understand that anyone who brings a story of chaos to me, and in a way that makes me feel like I'm in the court, they've already heard whatever they wanted to hear. They've already gathered whatever truth they wanted to gather. So who am I to stand up for my own defense? It doesn't matter. I know my truth. I know who I am. I can walk firmly and proudly with my head held high. And maybe that's the situation and story for you too. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop feeling the need to so ferociously defend yourself, because you know the truth. You know your truth. And anyone else who truly knows you may not know the full truth, but they're going to have some sort of idea, and they're not going to come to you with any craziness that is completely contradictory to who you are. And if they do, then maybe that's just a sign that you need to walk away. Because a lot of this healing journey, and I hate to share this with you, is walking away. But it's also about acceptance. It's self-acceptance to the point where you can understand who you are meant to be around and who you're not meant to be around. And sometimes that means you can stay around everyone. And sometimes that means you have to leave the presence of everyone. Again, use your discernment. But anyway, this is already pretty long, huh? Hopefully you're enjoying the soothing sound of my voice. And hopefully you're picking up and seeing yourself in the process. Or maybe you're seeing someone that you know so that you can share this message with them. Because it's okay to stop fighting, especially with those that are supposed to be on your side. Now that's a download in itself. But before I keep going on and on, I'm going to leave you with that. So if this message resonates, then that means it's for you. And if not, that's cool too. Just keep it pushing. Either way, I thank you for listening, and I wish you the very best day ever. Until next time, you know the vibes. Peace. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to check me out on all of social media. I'm basically everywhere you probably shouldn't be. Same here. But when you look me up, make sure you look me up as Marissa Moments, and that is Marissa with one S, because there is only one me. So until next time, happy healing.